already $33 trillion in debt. We're running a $2 trillion deficit this year. We cannot continue this because the fiscal health of our nation will be in jeopardy.
It's just so much going on. It's like, where's our leader? Bring me to your leader.
As war rages in the Middle East, Congress is entering its 18th day without a speaker, as several candidates, including our next guest, are throwing their hats in the ring ahead of a ballot vote on Tuesday.
Kevin Hearn is the name that I heard first. I heard a few days ago once Jim Jordan dropped out. Once he saw that the Republicans was playing games, he was like, you know what, man, I ain't dealing with this mess. But I think they did that on purpose. I don't know what the backstory might be if Jim Jordan is not willing to play ball the way they want him to, or maybe he's just not the guy that they wanted at all. But then they started talking about Kevin Hearn. Never heard that name, Kevin Hearn, until Jim Jordan dropped out the House Speaker. But Byron Donalds is the name that I brought up as well. I think when I was first being introduced to Byron Donalds, people were saying that he should potentially run as a VP candidate alongside Donald Trump or something like that. I think that would be dope.
GOP Congressman Byron Donalds joins us next. Congressman, thanks for joining us this morning. So what is your pitch to the GOP conference? What are your priorities?
My pitch is very simple. First, we got to get back to work immediately.
Yes. Yeah, I need to get back to work. Stop playing games.
We have to get these appropriation bills done. We must secure our border. If we're going to continue government funding, the border must be secured, and the White House has to realize that and take us seriously. Number two, we have a true ability to expand our majorities past this Congress. We can do that with strong, direct leadership where the White House knows where we stand. The American people see the strategies and the work that the Republican majority is trying to get done. I totally believe that. And number three, we can have unity in our conference. It's going to start with a fresh voice in leadership, working with all of our colleagues to accomplish the mission that our voters sent here to do.
Byron, I'm concerned. You talk about the border. We just did a story on it. It's frightening, the number of known terrorists. We went from 0 known terrorists captured under Donald Trump to now record numbers. We're in over 160. That doesn't count the 50,000 Chinese who have come across the border just in the last year.
How come other news sources aren't reporting this? They're not.
This is really scary.
They're not.
And we have this bill coming up, that Biden has put forward where, he has money dedicated to the border, but I feel like that's just for enforcement. What can Congress do to make sure, it's for processing versus enforcement. What can Congress do to make sure it's used to protect our border and enforce security there versus just using it to process more people?
Well, let me be very clear. We don't have a money problem with respect to the southern border. We have a policy problem. The policies were put in place by Joe Biden when he became president of the United States. Those policies have to be reversed. House Republicans have supported the strongest border security package that has ever passed the House of Representatives in H.R. 2. The elements of H.R. 2, frankly, all of it should be implemented immediately by the White House. They can do this tomorrow. So if the White House is going to come and say they want more money, then we're going to say, no, you need to change your policies, because the American people want to be supportive around the globe. We are going to be supportive of Israel, but we must secure our border. It must occur, and it needs to happen immediately.
Now, I don't know if y'all have seen my videos I've been doing covering New York and Chicago residents who have an issue with their cities being taken over by illegal immigrants. And it's crazy, man. Just looking at the numbers. But it's not only the numbers, it's the fact that they don't know who a lot of these people are. They really don't. They only know what they tell them, who they tell them that they are. I mean, we're hearing stories of children being just brought over, left inside of the hotels, and just the people who claim that they were their parents before just rolled out. Just got ghosts. Kids inside of hotel rooms just getting high and drinking all day. They got guns in there. They tearing the rooms up and everything. They going inside of stores and taking whatever they want. They doing whatever the hell they want to do. All right. If you can't track them, and everyone that come over is not good people, then what can you do? It's going to get worse and worse and worse. And it's going to be hell trying to get them to go back. It's going to be hell So I don't know man, y'all better secure the border quick.
What's your position on more money for Ukraine?
My position is that we have to change a number of things. Number one, we need an inspector general over there actually accounting for those dollars. Number two, the White House needs to actually have a strategy for us. And what's the purpose and what's the end goal of all of this? All of that has not been clear.
You also need somebody over there accounting for their missions. I mean, they got one of our tanks over there and some missiles as well that shoot out clusters that Biden gave them to, I guess, to fight Russia with. This is crazy, bro. How come we can't just mind our business? I get it. We got to make sure that we continue to do business all over the world, build relationships with other world leaders, and position ourselves so that in the event worst comes to worst, we are in as many power positions as possible so that we can strike and come out on top potentially. But this is a whole lot, man. There's a whole bunch of Americans who could use a lot of that money, who can use a lot of that support. And I don't feel bad for saying that, or for saying that we should look after Americans first before looking after other countries. I don't feel bad for saying that. At one point I did, but now I don't, not at all.
And here's the biggest one, Rachel. This money has to be paid for. The White House won $60 billion. Meanwhile, one of the key elements of their plan with respect to the Green New Deal, estimates are it's going to cost the American people $1 to $2 trillion. We have to pay for this money. We can't just send it out without any ability to take care of the purse strings of the American people. And we need to make sure that's done.
So are you suggesting the money go out to Ukraine, but that we maybe take it away from what was allocated for the Green New Deal? Or are you saying Ukraine has enough money? What
I'm saying is two things. Number one, we have to evaluate what Ukraine already has. But number two, if the White House is going to say their primary mission now is funding Ukraine, and they need to defund one of their other priorities. We are already $33 trillion in debt. We're running a $2 trillion deficit this year. We cannot continue this because the fiscal health of our nation will be in jeopardy.
Okay, I have a couple questions. So really quick one on this. If you become speaker, will you release all of the January 6th footage?
I will, absolutely.
Okay, great.
Now, when he say release all of the Jan 6 footage, I thought all of the footage haven't been released yet? What are we missing so far? Do you think other mainstream media platforms will show those videos once they're released? Because I'm thinking that they're just going to pick them apart. They're going to say, oh, they're trying to act as if these people did nothing wrong, so they're bringing out all this new footage that means nothing. They're going to try to get in front of it. They're going to do what they're supposed to. They're going to get in front of it. They're going to get in front of it, and they're going to play it down like it's nothing. So I guess this really ain't no big deal.
Next question. We are obviously, as you know, and this is probably the most dangerous time in our lifetime. We're on the brink of World War III. We want to support Israel to, protect themselves and defend themselves. But how do we, and how does Congress, what do you do to make sure that America doesn't get drawn into yet another conflict?
Did you just know? Heather, what exactly do you mean by you want him? Seriously, what a wonderful human being. Oh, you want him as speaker? Okay, never mind. You want him as the Speaker of the House. Okay, never mind. What's going on, Polly Chaser?
Well, this is going to be the toughest thing. We have to be supportive of Israel. They are our ally. They were attacked, and they must obliterate Hamas. I am fully supportive of that, as are my colleagues on Capitol Hill. But with respect to being pulled into World War III, something none of us want, this is going to take leadership from Joe Biden. Leadership, by the way, he's not shown to any point at this time.
He most certainly didn't. As a matter of fact, 50 Cent posted a picture of Joe Biden hanging out at the beach with his wife. They out there just chilling. They underneath an umbrella with the sun coming down. Probably had him some ice cream, and she out there tanning. And the world is going crazy. Like, we got, three wars going on right now? In Turkey and Azerbaijan, we got Ukraine and Russia. We have Palestine and Israel. Who else? How many more wars do we have going on right now while Joe Biden is away enjoying himself on a beach some daggone where? Huh? Have we found them kids in Maui yet? It's just so much going on. It's like, where's our leader? Bring me to your leader. Where's our leader? Somebody put up something today saying, you guys keep talking about how Joe Biden is going on vacation during these wars, but y'all won't tell nobody how Trump was always somewhere golfing when he was the president. And I commented and said, there was no wars when he was golfing. There's the difference. Like he had his house in order. There was no wars happening simultaneously while he was out there just chilling. But with Joe, there's actually 3+ wars going on at this moment that could potentially reach our doorstep if we are, and we got this whole border crisis going on. We got so much stuff going on right now, and he is at the beach. He probably still haven't even been to the daggone border yet, but he's at the beach. Yo, wow, man. Go get y'all guy, man. Go get y'all guy.
So it starts also with going back to the Iranian sanctions that were under President Trump and having this White House reverse course on some of their desires with Iran, trying to negotiate through the back door. That will be a big step forward to avoiding this global conflict. Number 2, there has to be a strategic vision and goal for what's happening in Ukraine. If you can get those 2 things accomplished, that'll take us to a much safer place around the globe.
I think most of our viewers would agree that we need new leadership. What has this fight among the Republicans in Congress done to potentially damage the presidential election for Republicans?
Well, look, I don't think that, once we get past this, and I think we are going to get past this pretty quickly, and I think we're going to get back to business. We're going to continue to go back into this political discussion, this fight with the White House about what the true priorities of America are. So I don't think it's going to damage the presidential election. And let's be very clear, Joe Biden's presidency has not been good for the American people. They know that in spite of the impasse in House leadership. I think we're going to get back to work. I think that we're going to demonstrate what conservative leadership is in the House of Representatives, and we're going to be just fine in 2024.
Could she have asked them? I wish she would have asked them, if, when you become speaker, are you going to impeach Biden? I wish she would have asked them that. That would have been an interesting answer. Like live. That's what we're getting. Yeah, I would like to see what will happen too. Honestly, I don't think a whole bunch will change because everybody's still going to will and deal. Everybody still have people that they are beholden to, businesses and companies and other politicians that they owe favors to. But it would be good to have somebody that's strong, that's not wavering, that seems to be fair. He seems to be fair, extremely intelligent, young could be. I mean, that's a plus. That's definitely a plus. But I wonder, would you finish the job? When you say finish the job, would you finish the job with making sure the Bidens are held accountable for what they've done? All right.